From the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona, it's time for New York Knicks basketball, presented by Chase. As tonight, the Knicks continue their western swing against the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks will be shorthanded. No Carmelo Anthony. Hyperextended knee happened in the first half of yesterday's loss to the Lakers in L.A. He's on a day-to-day basis. Also, no Raymond Felton for the first time this season. Sprained ligaments in his pinky finger on his shooting hand. Felton also day-to-day. So as the Knicks take the floor, they'll be shorthanded once again. And Mike Woodson will have to juggle the lineup with some interesting new starters. Hello, everyone. Along with Clyde Frazier, Mike Breen on hand, Tina Savasio with us as well. Those new starters include James White getting his first start with the Knicks. It also includes moving Jason Kidd from the 2 guard to the point guard. With Felton out, Kidd back to his old familiar position, Clyde. And we have seen him all season long. The numbers aren't going to blow you away, but what he's done for this team, the impact has been enormous.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. He brings a lot of intangibles, a lot of respect to the game. Probably have flashbacks tonight, folks. Former Suns guard, where he had a terrific career here. But when he's in the lineup, there's complete harmony by the Knicks. Still among the leaders in steals, his prowess from downtown. So Jason Kidd just hasn't been getting the minutes lately, but now compelled to play because of Felton being out and Melo. So look for Jason to try to orchestrate and penetrate to get easy opportunities for a teammate.
Now, Kidd doesn't put up huge numbers anymore, but still, the fact that he's almost 40 years old, he's 6th in the league in steals, he's 9th in the league in three-point shooting, and maybe #1 on this team in terms of impact and reason for the team's success. Now they'll play a Phoenix Suns team that's in a rebuilding mode certainly this year, but they are pretty tough at home. They've got a lot of nice young players, one of them including Shannon Brown. Now, Brown's the only guy in the team that has a championship ring. In fact, he has 2 from his days with the Lakers as a reserve. He's starting now and starting to show some real signs, Clyde.
Yeah, Brown has been moved around the league in 6 seasons. He's been with 5 different teams. But as Mike alluded to, with the Lakers, he found some stability there. Always athletic and charismatic, so he has uncanny leaping ability, likes to thrive in transition, so the Knicks have to get out on him there, and also has the 3-ball in his repertoire. So he's fun to watch, but the Knicks must contain him tonight.
And you see his numbers, they've improved greatly since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, and he's part of a starting lineup that's 4-2 in their last 6 games. Brown also a very exciting player, very entertaining for the Suns fans here in Phoenix. Meanwhile, what's going through the mind of James White, the 30-year-old who last 3 years playing over in Europe, and now has done a solid job in limited minutes for Mike Woodson. Gets his first start of the season with Carmelo Anthony out. Well, the Knicks looking to bounce back from yesterday's disappointing loss to the Lakers in L.A. as they continue their western swing. Second game of a back-to-back, second time they face the Suns. Starting lineups and opening tip all coming up here from Phoenix. Back in Phoenix, where the Knicks and the Suns. Knicks defeated them at the Garden earlier this season. As our starting lineups presented by Sports Yapper, the free app for talking about tonight's game. Get in now at sportsyapper.com. And with the injuries, James White starts at the 2 guard. Tyson Chandler in the middle, Ronnie Brewer and Kurt Thomas up front, along with Jason Kidd at the point. Dragic, Shannon Brown, Gortat, Dudley, and Scola. They've been starting the last 6 games for Phoenix, and they're 4-2. Well, the big news for the Knicks, no Carmelo Anthony, no Ray Felton. So James White gets to start. Now, he started a couple of games back when he played with the Spurs in the 06-0 season at the very end. So he has started in the NBA, but it's been a long time. And with more on White, let's check in and say hello to Tina Savasio. Hey, Tina.
Hey there, Mike. And some people might be surprised that White's getting that nod in the starting lineup. He had a DNP yesterday against the Lakers. He also didn't play against Minnesota on Sunday. But Mike Woodson said, hey, he's been sitting there. I know he's hungry. He hopefully will bring that energy that we need with guys out. Now, before the game, White was talking to reporters. He said, hey, I can't lose. I just have to go out there, play hard, make plays. And he told me it may be difficult at first getting in the flow with this lineup because there haven't been many practices. But White said, if I do the little things, hustle on defense, be aggressive, run the floor, everything else will fall into place. Mike?
Well, Tina, he's 30 years old. He has paid his dues the last 3 seasons over in Europe, in Italy, and in Russia. Spent his time in the D-League. got himself back to the NBA with a strong showing over in Europe and then a good summer league, and now gets rewarded with a start. He is a good defender. We've seen that, Clyde.
And a high leaper. You mentioned reading about him that he might be in the dunk contest in the All-Star game.
Alley-oop. Chandler had it, almost had it down. Kurt Thomas the offensive rebound. Chandler against Gortat. Single coverage. Chandler a turnaround jumper and puts it in. I don't know if we've seen that in his 2 years with the Knicks.
No, most of his plays have been dunks, and Chandler very offensive-minded to start the game.
Well, sometimes we've seen him square and face and hit shots, but I can't remember him ever taking a turnaround jumper. Gortat, meanwhile, against Chandler. He leans in, and Gortat gets it to go.
Good retaliation by Gortat. Moving and grooving nicely that time, 8 feet away.
Knicks come in with a 20-8 record. Still second in the East. They're 8-6 on the road. Chandler again. Chandler looking for his offense early. Again, without Raymond Felton and Carmelo Anthony, the Knicks' 2 top scorers. They'll obviously need others to pick up the slack. And here's Jared Dudley. Dudley's been on a hot streak lately. Chandler, quick outlet. Suns, meanwhile, at home here, they're 9-6, and some of their losses have been very close as Jason Kidd nails a three-pointer.
Kidd, a 43% shooter from downtown.
Phoenix overall 11 of 17. They've been a streaky team. Right now they are definitely outside of the playoff picture. 3rd worst record in the Western Conference. White will shoot way off. Ball deflected out to Dragic. And Dragic is their leading scorer. He's also their leading assist man, their leading steals man. He's had a good season. And as White is called for a reach-in.
Yeah, Brown manipulated baseline. White is the culprit. So it's a non-shooting foul. Suns have it along the side.
Well, Raymond Felton missing his first game. You know it's got to hurt for Felton to sit out. He's been playing the last several weeks with bone bruises in both hands. You know, Clyde, maybe this injury give him a chance to rest and have those heal up a little bit.
Yep, that's the only thing that will heal an injury is rest.
Gortat in and out, but Scola right there.
Both teams, poor rebounding teams, only averaging 39 bounds apiece. So right now the Knicks being mauled on the glass.
Kurt Thomas the foul. So Thomas picks up his first, and Scola is going to shoot. Didn't hear the whistle. The play continued. Scola will go to the free throw line.
Thomas, his first foul. Second Knicks team foul. Luis
Scola from Argentina, one of the guys who's mainly responsible for Pablo Prigioni coming to the United States and playing for the Knicks in the NBA. And good buddies. And Prigioni obviously is going to get some extra time tonight with Raymond Felton out.
But the Knicks have been fortunate in that respect, Mike. When one guy's gone down, another guy's been able to capitalize on his play. Saw that with Copeland. You know, White has had his moments as well.
Well, when you look at it again, Clyde, the Knicks, as they look in a break, Brewer left-handed and able to finish that time. Nice play from Ronnie Brewer. Knicks are 20-8, and they've had some serious injuries to deal with between Stoudemire and Shumpert. Carmelo Anthony's now missing 5 games. Kidd missed 4 games. Rasheed Wallace has been out. Camby's missed a dozen or more games. Dragic, extra pass Dudley. He's a good three-point shooter from the corner, and that ties the game.
Dudley 39% from there, right in front of the Suns bench.
They have 6 players averaging in double figures.
But the highest player, only 14 a game. Very unusual in the NBA.
Kurt Thomas from way outside, and he banks it in, and not even a smile from him as he backtracks.
Yeah, the crowd got a little humor out of that basket by Kurt.
Dragic kicks it out. Dudley trying to control it. Thomas, by the way, obviously he hasn't shot a lot recently, but he's made his last 7 shots from the field.
Because he knows his range, Mike. Rarely shoots out of his range.
Shannon Brown. Can't connect on the rebound. And Thomas with another board. And a carry call. Don't see that call very often.
Should have given the ball to Kidd. Kidd was up the floor wanting the ball. Brewer saw Chandler trying to get it to him. He was overzealous. See right there, he stops and he goes again. Good call by the official.
You almost like to see those called more because the players, Clyde, they adapt on those. If you start calling it, they'll stop doing it. Turnover that time from Dudley.
2 careless plays back-to-back now. Previously Brewer, now the Suns.
Again, the Suns have been playing better recently, though coming off a poor game. They got hammered by the Clippers as Kurt Thomas misses there. How about the Clippers coming into tonight, Clyde? Best record in the NBA, the LA Clippers.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet. They're still the Clippers. So I'll wait and see.
Well, there are Clippers with Chris Paul right there is enough to maybe have you think twice. Kidd looking, operating. Kurt Thomas left open again. A smooth jump shot from Thomas.
Thomas stays in that range, 15 to 20 feet away, as Mike alluded to, very efficient from there.
Dragic gets inside. Dudley on the pull-up jumper. Thomas tips it out. Kidd able to get to it.
Kidd always gets those deep rebounds.
And nails another 3. They say a 2. His foot was on the line. You mentioned Kidd back, where he spent some time here. 4.5 years as a member of the Phoenix Suns. Knicks up by 6.
Good pace to this one, back and forth. Nice continuity by both teams.
Brown a 2-pointer.
Brown looked like a much improved perimeter shooter. Good rotation on that shot.
Dragic reaching in. Kidd lobs it to Chandler. Knocked away. Boy, players colliding. White misses. Scola the rebound. Shannon Brown took a shot. Scola falls down but gets it out to Dragic. Dudley, a couple of fakes, hand in his face, and still knocks it in. And again, this is the second meeting between the two. They played each other December the 2nd at the Garden. Knicks won at 106-99. Gentry's team trailed by as many as 20. They eventually cut it to 6 in the 4th, but the Knicks emerged victorious. Carmelo Anthony had 34. Kidd, was it deflected? Nope.
Kidd, after making a couple of hoops, the Suns will bring it up.
Smith has been on a real strong stretch. Last 5 games averaging over 21 a game, 47% from the field, and in those 5 games only 7 turnovers.
Errant pass.
Smith got fouled from behind by Dragic, feeds Thomas, and Thomas is fouled. Looked like Dragic tried to intentionally foul Smith.
Jared Dudley, his first foul.
And now Kurt Thomas will go to the free throw line.
Suns averaging 13 turnovers, have a few right here, allowing the Knicks to get in transition. So JR just checks in, comes up with the errant throw.
I mean, Dragic whacked him.
A good hustle by the oldest player in the league, Kurt Thomas, and he's rewarded.
It looked like he wanted to stop the fast break. Well, Thomas hits the first. Thomas has always been a good free throw shooter, but struggling this year, although he's hardly been there. He's 6 of 12 now from the line for the season. Knicks as a team, they're down to 75% free throw shooting.
And their assists also plummeted, Mike. Down to 19 now.
Scola, such a clever player, gets it out. And Dudley hits again.
You mentioned Dudley since he's been in the starting lineup. So Dudley, mid-range jumper that time along the baseline.
Dudley, and then averaging over 17 a game since in the starting lineup. J.R. Smith rattles in the shot. The difference in his shot selection, Clyde, from when he first came here and in his career and this season, it's like night and day.
That's why he's thriving.
Nice pass, Dragic to Gortat. Now, every once in a while, Smith will still take a shot that make Mike Woodson's blood boil. But the vast improvement. Smith fakes, drives. Kidd right back to J.R. Smith. Shot clock winding down. Spins inside. Difficult shot there. And Gortat the rebound. Under 5 to play here in the first. Knicks leading by 1.
Good perpetual motion by the Suns. Whoa.
How about that move from Gortat? And for for the first time in their 2 games. Phoenix has a lead on the Knicks.
Gortat spinning, winning along the baseline with a left-handed hook shot as the Knicks want to talk it over.
Mike Woodson calls time. Marcin Gortat with 6 points and 3 rebounds early.
Yeah, wheeling and dealing to the delight of the crowd.
Knicks down by 1, 4.5 remaining first quarter here in Phoenix. The trip continues Friday night in Sacramento. Knicks and the Kings will have it for you on MSG Network. Live coverage gets underway at 9:30. Friday Night Knicks presented by Dodge. Visa Knicks game night at 9:30. Tip off shortly after 10. Knicks and Kings from Sacramento on MSG. J.R. Smith, after that very rough stretch that he had, has turned it around nicely. You see that 11-game stretch, just 31%. But look at the last 8 games, Clyde. He has been terrific.
Yep, we mentioned the shot selection and just his overall focus now as JR on the threshold.
Now they'll need him to play an offensive-minded game, but continue to stay in the good shot selection, because without Carmelo Anthony and Raymond Felton, they'll need a scoring punch from somewhere. And Dudley tries again. Boy, Dudley is really playing well, shooting the basketball so well. 4 of 6 from the field. Chandler, nice feed from J.R. Smith.
Tyson Chandler.
Make it look so easy when it works to perfection. And that's the other thing, JR is rebounding his assists as well as his scoring now, providing an impetus for these Knicks.
Steve Novak has come on. He's guarding Dudley.
Back door.
And beats him. Novak got caught. And Dudley able to put it in. Mike Woodson giving Novak the stairs. He runs up the floor.
And Gortat, we saw the left-handed hook. That time the left-handed pass. Oh,
Smith is fouled as he goes hard to the basket.
almost decapitated that
Number 3, Jerry Dudley, his second foul.
How about Novak yesterday,
Second
Clive? Boy, did he
team
take
foul.
a hard hit in L.A. against the Lakers.
J.R.
Meta
Smith
World
to the
piece with
line.
an inadvertent
2
elbow.
shots.
Watch this. I mean, wham. He said he blacked out for a couple of
yeah,
seconds.
look at his body language, how limp he was.
Exactly.
You can tell.
And he said that he wasn't aware what happened until he was informed after the game. And as J.R. Smith misses a free throw, that it was World Peace who whacked him with the elbow. Again, it was unintentional.
Yeah, that happened to me in high school in a basketball game. Like, I woke up, I told the coach, that's it, I quit. I thought I was in a football game, man.
Smith hits that. Smith now, well, the Knicks now 2 of 4 from the line. They trail by 2. Dragic. Good help defense from Kurt Thomas. Shannon Brown left open. Hesitated for a moment. Long rebound to Smith. Smith drives right at Gortat. Able to get his own rebound on the block shot. Chandler's going to take another jumper and puts it in. How about Chandler with 2 perimeter shots?
And looking for them, Mike. Normally, when Melo and those guys are there, he rarely looks for anything other than the alley-oop, and they don't.
No hesitation at all. That time he altered Shannon Brown's shot.
Brown out of control with his wheeling and dealing.
J.R. Smith, a little shake and bake move, pull-up jumper, knocks it down. That got even the Suns fans doing, although there are a number of fans wearing Knicks jerseys here tonight. Dragic stops on a dime.
Poor D by Prigioni that time. As he stopped, Prigioni kept going along the baseline.
Suns are not a good defensive team. They're second to last in opponent's field goal percentage.
JR coughs that up.
Dudley and J.R. Smith with a foul. He goes over to help out Dudley, help him up. I think Alvin Gentry wanted a flagrant. And he's trying to make his point. That just seemed like a good hard foul.
Watch JR inadvertently losing the handle. Well, actually, Scola knocks it away. And Dudley has been a nemesis of the Knicks, so we return. He's at the line to shoot 2.
Tina Cervasio with you as the Knicks and Suns tied at 23, just over 2 minutes to go. Raymond Felton joining me. Raymond out with a sprained pinky on your shooting hand, your right hand. Raymond, you played through it last night after colliding with Nash. What made you know today you could not play?
It was swollen. basically purple when I got up this morning. And right now it's diagnosed as a sprain, but I really don't know what it is until I get this x-ray done at halftime. So we'll see what it is. Could possibly have some torn ligaments on the inside of my pinky. So we'll see what happens. It's sore and it hurts.
Wow. All right. So the x-ray is coming up at the half. We'll keep everyone updated on that. You've been playing with injuries on both hands. How hard is it to sit out?
It's tough, you know, even though I haven't really been myself the last couple of games, shooting-wise, and really doing the things that I can do. You know, I still want to be out there for my teammates no matter what. Like I said, I can care about stats. I can care about the ball going in the basket for me, as long as we win the game.
All right, Raymond, thank you for joining us for the information.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Tina. First game he's missed this season. As Dudley hits a free throw. We saw that replay at the end, Clyde. Smith came down, a bit of a windup at the end of the foul, but they did not call a flagrant as Marcus Camby has come in.
Yeah, the coach wanted a flagrant, and officials were not going for it. We mentioned Raymond has played with the hand injuries all season. Before was the left hand and the thumb. He refused to sit out, but finally overwhelmed by the injuries to his hand.
Now there are some as Prigioni gets inside, ball deflected, kicked, and it's going to be Phoenix ball. You know, sometimes when you have torn ligaments in a finger, guys are out, you know, for several weeks. Others play with it. You put a splint on and play with it. And Felton, I love what he said. He doesn't care, you know, if playing hurts his field goal percentage. He just wants to be out there for his team. As Dragic tried to go back door, Phoenix turns it over.
Yeah, Raymond always very sincere, and you can tell when he mentioned that he was sincere about it.
Felton has said it a number of times. He's a New York point guard. He's got the toughness and grit, and he hates sitting out. Knicks down by 2. Michael Beasley has come on. Prigioni, and a foul away from the ball. It's going to go against Gortat.
Mugging Chandler that time on the pick and roll. So Gortat previously threw the errant pass. So 2 blunders by him. The Knicks will take it out.
That's their first in the last 2 minutes. 129 remaining. Markieff Morris comes in.
You see not much defense being played by the score. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field.
So Chandler and Camby playing at the same time. Prigioni looking. Fakes a 3, now drives, stripped of the ball, but it goes right to Chandler, and Chandler able to put it in. 8 points here in the first quarter for Chandler. Dragic calls out a play. Dragic back with the Suns, went to Houston, played well, got a big contract in return. Beasley. Which Michael Beasley will be present tonight for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, the enigmatic Beasley has a good range for a guy 6'9" on the perimeter.
J.R. Smith shot misses. Gortat with his 4th rebound.
Good D by Prigioni, keeping Dragic out of the paint.
Dragic nails that one. Lead back up to 4. He really has grown, Clyde. He's a good player now.
Yeah, you see his confidence, exudes a lot of confidence out there.
Novak comes off the screen. J.R. Smith had it, lost it, and he was being held. So P.J. Tucker will be called for the foul.
Novak, no arc on that shot coming off the curl. Need to get him going. Try to get him a few more shots. But right now the Suns will pay for their folly. They're in the penalty.
2 shots.
Smith has come off the bench with 5 points. Friday on MSG, go inside the Knicks with Coach Mike Woodson and Alan Hahn on the Best of the Mike Woodson Show, presented by Buick. Friday is 6:30 only on MSG Network. Now we're going to have to give him some grief on that. The show's only been on a couple of weeks and they have the best of already.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of good stuff. The show is really fun. And Mike Woodson provides some great access on it. You see some really interesting stuff. They have some laughs as well. And a foul on Prigioni. Knicks had a foul to give.
The foul's on number 9, Pablo Prigioni. His first foul.
I always like to, rather than doing that, Mike, go for the steal.
Right.
Try to utilize it, make it work there, the foul to give, rather than just bailing out like that.
It seems so obvious.
Right.
And Prigioni's got such quick hands. Dragic tried to bank it in. Chandler the rebound. Knicks have time. Why Dragic took the shot so early, I don't know. J.R. Smith will put up a 3. Way short, and Camby doesn't get his shot off in time. And the first quarter comes to an end. Well, Mike Woodson won't be happy with the defense. Phoenix shoots 57% from the field. Meanwhile, the Knicks, as Woodson talking to J.R. Smith, get some offense from Tyson Chandler with no Carmelo Anthony and no Raymond Felton. Chandler with 8 points here in the first quarter. 12 here in Phoenix. Knicks down 2 to the Suns. Set to start the second quarter. Knicks playing without Carmelo Anthony and Raymond Felton. Anthony hurt that left knee yesterday, first half against the Lakers, as he collided with Marcus Camby, hyperextended it, and that's the same knee that hurt when he sprained the ankle, missed a couple of games, and it was really bothering him after the game yesterday. So a difficult situation for the Knicks and head coach Mike Woodson.
You lose your best player, you know, for a game. I don't know how long he's going to be out. There is some concern, but again, that happens throughout the course of a season. Key guys go down, somebody else has got to step up.
Well, they've missed him 4 games already, and 2-2. They had that huge win in Miami against the Heat without him, as Beasley gets inside and finishes the layup. The Knicks defense has not been up to par. And Mike Woodson, you can tell by his looking out at the team, as Chris Copeland has come on.
Not only that, Mike, 57% shooting by the Suns thus far.
Novak comes off a screen and nails a 3.
Yeah, he needed that there to gain some confidence.
So you have Prigioni and J.R. Smith as the guards, Camby, Novak, and Copeland up front. Now, how is Copeland going over a screen, took a shot from Morris, and they call a foul on Copeland?
Suns ball, 16 on the shot
Copeland
clock.
we've seen in his fill-in duty when Carmelo Anthony missed other games. He's more of an offensive player. James White more of a defensive player. Copeland can flat out score.
Now the mismatch. They've got a double. Somebody's open. JR. Good steal.
Smith spins and stripped by Telfair. A good hustle there from Tucker to dive on the floor.
JR not protecting the ball with his body. Good hands by Telfair.
I'm talking earlier about J.R. Smith has not been turning the ball over again, really making better decisions, but a couple of quick ones here. And there's Jermaine O'Neal, who did not play in the first game against the Knicks. Poked away by Prigioni, tries to save it. Camby can't control it. And Phoenix will have it with 4.2 to shoot. Are they going to change the call? Gary Zielinski comes in. They're going to reset the shot clock. Yep, and they're going to reset the shot clock, saying the Knicks had possession. And there's Beasley, talking about guys that can flat out score. Good help from Camby. Beasley gets it off to O'Neal. Kicks it out. Tucker. Long rebound. Novak tracks it down.
There's Novak baseline.
Novak, the quick release. Tucker comes the other way.
Tucker played well in New York. Very impressed with his defense on Melo during that game.
Tucker last year played in Germany. Morris launches a brick. Camby, quick outlet. Coming up on 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Prigioni looking for an opening, finds Camby. Camby's timing is off as Prigioni throws it out. And that's a shot, those little baseline jumpers. He made a living on that for a long time. Was always a good, accurate shooter from there. But you can tell on his jumper in the limited duty he's had this year, he's just not in full rhythm yet.
Yeah, hesitating with the shot, thinking as he's shooting. Hasn't seen a lot of action. So
he played 8 minutes yesterday after missing the previous 12 games with a sore left foot. No Rasheed Wallace again, still with that acute stress reaction in his foot. Telfair O'Neal, the ball fake, gets inside.
Oh, it should have been a foul.
Thought I heard a whistle. Canby the rebound. And there's J.R. Smith. Looked like a lot of contact there. Prigioni. Good defense from Tucker.
It was like Canby whacked O'Neal. Sound like a whistle, but nothing was called.
Copeland fakes and called for a travel. Knicks with 6 turnovers here in the first half. They trail by 1.
Both teams, after an auspicious beginnings, blundering right now.
Jermaine O'Neal, another long line of older players. As Morris shot misses, Canby with another rebound.
Telfair doing a good job getting over the screens.
Telfair's had a good season, Clyde. Played well last year, too, as Prigioni able to connect on the three-pointer.
That time he went behind the screen, giving Prigioni the opening that he needed. Got to get over the top.
Knicks now 3 of 7 from downtown. Suns are not a good defensive team against the 3. The foul away from the ball. This one is going to go against Copeland. That's 2 on Copeland, and we're going to have a timeout.
Order 2, Mike. They're giving up 47% from the field, 40 from downtown.
They're just not a good defensive team. So right now, Knicks lead by 2 early second quarter in Phoenix. Early second quarter in Phoenix. Well, the Knicks will return to the Garden next Tuesday, January 1st. First game of 2013. Face the Portland Trail Blazers and rookie point guard Damian Lillard. Tickets still available. Visit nyknicks.com. Mike Woodson's team right now second best record in the Eastern Conference at 28. The Hawks have been one of the surprises here. Pacers are starting to turn it around, Clyde.
Granger's back?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
But they've been playing much better.
Yeah, kid George finally playing up to expectations. The Knicks trying to get it going here. Need to tighten up their defense.
Here's Morris. Beasley. And Copeland a weak side rebound. That's where the coaching staff trying to get Copeland to become a better rebounder, better defender. We've seen his ability to put the ball in the basket. He's been working hard. Prigioni back to Copeland. Shot clock at 5. J.R. Smith in and out. And a foul. This one's going to go against the Knicks. J.R. Smith away from the basket.
R is looking to post up Smith that time. J.R. overzealous.
Into the Suns lineup number 3.
Dudley comes in. Tall lineup now for Phoenix with O'Neal, Morris, Dudley, and Beasley. Dudley playing the 2. And Telfair, the Lincoln High product. And Alvin Gentry upset.
Oh, he almost got a technical, Mike.
David Workman showing some restraint there as Alvin Gentry calls a full timeout. I don't know if he was mad at the official or mad at his team about something. Either way, he was mad. 2.5 remaining. Knicks leading by 7. Strong defense in the second period for the Knicks. Suns just 6 of 17 from the field. Our Kia card profile on his return to a place where he spent 4.5 years. Jason Kidd is back in Phoenix. And in his time here, made 3 All-Star appearances, All-NBA, all part of a Hall of Fame career that just continues to amaze. Even his teammates keep saying, we keep forgetting he's almost 40. Unbelievable the kind of player he's been throughout his career. One of the great point guards in the history of the game, Clyde.
Yeah, especially doing this. In transition, a couple of steps, he's wide open. Continues the wheel and deal for the Knicks. Copeland baseline.
Not that time. And you look what he's done. Obviously in New Jersey, he turned a franchise around. In Dallas, he helped turn them into champions as Dragic can't connect. And here in New York, we've seen in a third of a season the impact that he's had.
Especially on the offense and the continuity. and helping Felton back door. Yeah.
And J.R. Smith gets in, and the lead is up to 9.
Interesting segue by Kidd as we paid homage to him.
Kidd 8 points, 3 assists. Chasing Dragic. Scola. Chandler and Scola fight for it. Ball deflected out.
Knicks ball.
And the Knicks will get it. Crowd's gone quiet.
Defense.
It's not a sellout, but it's pretty crowded. However, there are a lot of Knicks fans, as we said earlier. Chandler looking good ball denial from Dragic. Copeland against Gortat. Shoots over him and nails it. Oh, Copeland now 4 of 5 from the field. He's in double figures.
Now the foul on Copeland.
That's going to be his 3rd as the Knicks now on a 14-4 run.
Dragic posted him under the Gortat, underneath. Copeland shoving him out of the way.
5th Knicks team foul.
So the Knicks will pay now. They are in the penalties.
Kurt Thomas will come back in.
Gortat to the line. Shoot.
Thomas starting once again. Marcin Gortat. Gortat said one of the things he wanted to do this year is prove that the only reason he was good last year was because of Steve Nash. Gortat had a career year. Him and Nash had an excellent connection as he misses the free throw. Hasn't put up the same numbers, but still solid. As we've got the Delta halftime report coming up. Bill and Wally back in the studio. We'll have some fun with the Audi MSG 150. Ten-point game with just under a minute and a half remaining here in the second.
Knicks well synchronized on the offense now. Everything going for them.
Smith kicks it out. Novak. Smith against Shannon Brown. Turnaround. Too strong. Gortat tracks it down.
Gortat a good rebound there. Almost 10 per game.
They go into Gortat, spinning, double team, gets it off, won't finish. Thomas the rebound. Gortat last year was 8th in the league in rebounding.
And his shot blocker, Mike.
Yeah, he had an excellent year. It was a kind of a breakout year for him. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs. Kidd to Thomas. Kurt Thomas way short. Rebound Chandler. Shot clock did not reset. It should have. The ball hit the rim, and Smith has to put it up. The ball hit the rim on that. They didn't reset the clock.
And Dragic.
Dragic goes down hard as Smith went underneath him, and Dragic is hurt. Alvin Gentry had something to say to J.R. Smith. Have to see the replay. It was hard to tell how Smith went into him. Meanwhile, the Knicks still felt that down the other end it was a shot clock, but the more concern now is Dragic. He went down hard, didn't appear like he was able to break his fall at all.
No, he hit directly on his back.
And medical personnel come out quickly.
Well, just as he picks up momentum right there, Smith kind of nudged him enough to knock him off balance.
And that's just,
he's in agony.
they're going to look, they've called a flagrant foul, so they're going to look at it and see. You just, when a player goes up in the air, you can't do that. So what now Mark Davis, the crew chief, will do is he'll look at the replay and decide, is it a flagrant one to keep it the same? Will he up it to a flagrant 2? Unlikely. Or will he downgrade it to a common foul?
The irony of the whole thing is the Knicks should have had more time. As you were mentioning, Mike, the ball hit the basket. Let's take a look at what should have transpired here.
Yeah, Thomas, I mean, the shot was short, but it hit the rim.
So it should have been a new shot clock starting there.
This would be a better angle to see it.
Yeah, it grazes the rim.
It wasn't, I mean, that really wasn't even close.
So they did not give the Knicks a new shot clock. JR is seeing his time running down, threw up the shot, and then in transition, Dragic was just bumped a little bit by JR, so he's the culprit, though.
And again, so it's going to be a flagrant 1. And I don't think J.R. Smith necessarily tried to do anything dangerous to him, but that's a dangerous play in terms of guy gets up in the air. The slightest bump can have him land awkwardly like that. And good to see Dragic up and walking around. He's going to shoot. Now he doesn't have to shoot and can return, because on a flagrant foul, if you get fouled on a flagrant foul and can't return to shoot the free throw, you can come back later in the game. If it was a common foul, that wouldn't be the case.
Oh,
and Dragic,
all of that.
Mike Woodson still talking about the shot clock down the other end. Boy, Woodson is red hot. He's red hot at the. He's talking to the people on the scores table. Dragic misses both.
Well, we got the most pugnacious coaches here tonight, Mike. Woodson 6 technicals, and Gentry 5.
Yeah, they're the leaders and the coaches. Like Woodson is mad. He's yelling at the scores table and the shot clock operator, who obviously didn't see the ball hit the rim and didn't reset it, and it turned out to be a big play.
You see Dragic in pain. He misses both free throws as he goes to the bench.
So Dragic going back. Shot clock turned off. Big second quarter for the Knicks. Scola down to Gortat. Gortat with a hand in his face. Won't go. Kidd the rebound. Kidd launches it down the floor. And that will end the first half. And a strong second quarter for the Knicks. They outscore the Suns 27-15. And get some big play from J.R. Smith with 13. Chris Copeland with 10. And Jason Kidd also providing 8 points and 3 assists. He's with Tina.
All right, Mike, thank you. Jason, a totally different lineup tonight. You're shorthanded. What have guys done to step up?
Everybody has done their part, if not more. Kurt's come in and given us a big lift offensively and defensively. Tyson came out shooting the ball. And the biggest thing is we're playing defense. And if we can do that, hopefully we can hold on and get a win.
What did you guys change in the second quarter to build that lead?
Well, sharing the ball, and guys are knocking down shots, but everybody's touching the ball. We just don't have one guy dribbling and taking a shot. We got multiple touches, and on this team, when you do that, you're going to get a wide open shot.
Jason, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Tina.
Mike, back to you.
Yeah, Tina, that defense in the second quarter was excellent. And the Knicks have a double-figure lead at halftime. The Delta halftime reports coming up next. 54-44, Knicks lead in Phoenix after 2. Halftime in Phoenix as New York Knicks basketball is presented by Chase. They lead the Suns by 10 just a couple of minutes ago. Tina Savasio and Knicks assistant coach Jim Todd had a chance to chat.
All right, Mike, thank you. Coach Todd, we saw some adjustments there in the second quarter. What do you like so far in the first half?
Well, our bench was great. You know, we got like 23, 24 points between Cope and JR. And then, you know, we get Cam, he gets 6 or 7 rebounds for us in limited minutes. He was able to give Tyson a little bit of a blow, which is kind of monumental for us. We got to give Tyson some rest out there. He's playing too many minutes.
Jason Kidd said the big difference was when you really started playing defense. What about Dudley? He has scored 17. How do you keep an eye on him?
Well, he got hot. He beat us back during one play, beat us over the top. However, we got him. He got it going. So, going to make a conscious effort of slowing him down a little bit. Protect the paint. Don't turn it over. We had 6, 7 turnovers in the first half. Got to keep that down.
Coach Todd, thank you.
All right.
Mike?
J.R. The players love to make fun of his Boston accent. As our optimum halftime scoring summary, Knicks 50% from the field, +7 in rebounding, and the bench once again providing a necessary spark without Carmelo Anthony and Raymond Felton.
Yeah, J.R. and Copeland combining for 23 points, so good job by the Knicks bench.
You know, he brought up a point about Tyson Chandler. Chandler's averaging 32 minutes a game. He's been playing a lot, and remember, he played this summer. That's where Rasheed Wallace being out as Jason Kidd knocks down the 3, and the Knicks have their largest lead. To be able to have Cam be back and Rasheed Wallace eventually back to give Chandler a little bit of a blow.
Yep. Chandler's been sacrificing his body for the good of the team, knowing the other guys were out.
I mean, Chandler's in great condition, but he's doing so much at both ends of the floor. Nice move by Gortat. Knicks up by 11. By the way, the Suns trailing by double figures, Clyde. This is a very unusual stat. As Kidd gets it to Chandler, out to White, and Brewer on the fake. Brewer off the dribble, way off. This is the 29th game for the Phoenix Suns. This is the 22nd time of 29 games they've trailed by double figures. That's incredible.
Yeah, you've been out of it playing catch up all the time.
Now they've come back and won 6 of those games. But to be down by double figures, Scola able to get an offensive rebound. Shot clock did not reset. And did he call a timeout? A timeout call. They're going to check when was the timeout called and put time back on the shot clock. But to be down by double figures almost every time you take the floor. Wow.
Yeah. It's debilitating, frustrating, and finally devastating. The Suns, that's why they're off to a poor start. Playing catch up all the time, trailing. But we mentioned, Mike, at the top of the show, they're allowing the opposition to shoot 47%.
Right.
The league average is only 44. And then 40% from downtown. The league average is only 36. So the Knicks right now 50 from the field, 54 from downtown. So the Suns have to work more diligently on the defensive end.
Suns fans, how would you like to score 6 tickets to the Suns Plus game?
0.5 of a second back on the shot clock. That's what Phoenix has to shoot now. They'll inbound deep in the corner. Gortat catches, blocked by Chandler, and a 24-second violation. Well, that would have led to a fast break by White. Sometimes they let that go when a team has a chance to have a break.
Not a good guy trying to take the last shot to center. Normally you have someone that's creative. They have Brown, a guy that can create. So not a good selection by the Suns.
I think the shot attempt came after because Gortat caught it and kind of turned. So the buzzer sounded even before he released it. Kidd gets in. Nice move from Jason Kidd.
Vintage Kidd tonight. 3-ball going, that time penetrating with the left hand.
Kidd now at 13 points. Knicks up by 13. Dudley. Gortat again inside, this time with the left hand. Scola pushed off Kurt Thomas to get that rebound.
Very blatantly that time pushing off, so the Knicks will bring it up. Knicks got to try to get some. The Suns are struggling now. See if they can get a bigger lead against these guys. Everything is working offensively. Sun defense very porous.
Suns without Goran Dragic here to start the second half. He took a hard foul as Kidd misses that 3. He's doubtful to return after getting a flagrant foul by J.R. Smith. His hip, wrist, and back contusions. It was a really difficult fall. Didn't brace himself. Scola spinning short. Gortat tips it out, a la Tyson Chandler. Brown shuffle, quick pass to Dudley, and that's where Dudley excels. Dudley having a huge game. He's got 20 points.
And why would you leave him uncontested? He's the guy that's hurt them all evening. Should have forced Telfair to take a 3-ball. So they double Telfair, leaving Dudley uncontested.
Dudley's hit the 20-point mark for the 4th time in the last 6 games. Kidd will try again. Another 3. 4th 3-pointer of the game for Kidd. He's got 16.
Look at him percolating out there. So Suns lethargic on both ends of the floor. That's Telfair now with the 3-ball. Gets it down.
Telfair this year from 3-point range of 36%.
Look at Kidd, very active now.
Chandler wanted it. Shot clock at 7. Kidd finds Chandler. Chandler barrels in and lays it in. Scola wanted a charge, as did Alvin Gentry.
The Knicks are the aggressors, though. They're getting away with the physicality now.
Scola will try from the outside. Both teams have gotten hot here last couple of possessions.
Scola still complaining about the previous play. Thought he was charged on by Chandler. Kidd spinning. Look at the energy by the old man.
Brewer's going to try again. And Ronnie Brewer just can't buy an outside shot. He has struggled mightily. Shannon Brown. What you love about Brewer is that it's not affecting him on the defensive end, but Mike Woodson has not been able to give him a nice minutes. What a beautiful bounce pass, Kidd to James White.
Kidd providing the impetus now, and as he's done for what, 18 seasons now, wheeling and dealing, finding White underneath.
Gortat trying to get free. Chandler pokes it away, but fouls him in the process. That's his first and the team's first.
Take a look at Kidd, the intangibles that he brings to the court. Right there, good ESP between those two, and this is what Scola was complaining about. Thought it should have been a charge on violation on Chandler.
That was pretty close. He had a point there. Beasley comes in. You know, Clyde, with the new anti-flopping, with the warnings and fines, flopping is way down.
Yeah, it's had an impact, a very positive impact.
Brewer sits. J.R. Smith back in. Copeland's in. Copeland and James White in the game together. Two free agents the Knicks have signed. You know, when we talk about people who've done a good job, as Jason Kidd misses that one, Chandler tips it, but right to Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley anticipated the tip out. Telfair stopped it.
Way off. Kidd the rebound. And we want to talk about people who have done a good job for the Knicks, the various players. Glenn Grunwald, his summer, what a performance in terms of putting together this team, even down to the free agents, the 14th and 15th guy with Copeland and James White.
Yep, they've all made him look like a genius.
Smith drills one. And the Knicks lead is 14, largest of the game. And everybody who's played has scored. All 10 Knicks.
Again, they leave Dudley open. Why?
And boy, Mike Woodson is very upset at Copeland. And probably because of what you're saying, Clyde. It's the one area Dudley is deadly. And he knocks down another.
They keep doubling the guy that's giving him the ball.
Chandler can't finish. Here comes Beasley.
Dudley's over here again, percolating.
Fine score, top for the finish. And it's back to 9.
Yeah, good addition is switching by Dudley now, propelling the Suns back into it.
Now, we mentioned the Suns. Again, they've fallen behind by double figures 22 of 29 games, but they've come back a number of times from them. And as Chandler blocked but foul. They've had 3 games where they've won in which they trailed by as many as 19. So they never give up, as Gentry is red hot.
Let's take a look at Dudley now. Watch the nice touch pass to Gortat. And the one-handed flush. So Chandler's been very offensive-minded from the get-go. Came out looking to post and toast, facing up to the basket this time to draw the foul.
Prigioni will come in. J.R. Smith will sit. Excuse me, Jason Kidd. 10-point game, 5:18 remaining here in the third. If you're just tuning in, Knicks without Carmelo Anthony with a hyperextended knee. And no Raymond Felton with sprained ligaments that he's going to have an X-ray on in that pinky finger.
And unfortunately, it's Raymond's right hand, folks.
Both hands have been banged up. Shot clock down to 7. Beasley launches. Chandler got a piece of it. Boy, Beasley, again, there's some nights you say, boy, he's got a chance to be something really good, and other nights he just looks lost out there. J.R. Smith's shot misses. Rebound. Look at Prigioni, but he couldn't save it. Michael Beasley, who was the 2nd overall pick back in 2008 by Miami. He had that 1 year of college at Kansas State. He was phenomenal. Averaged 26 points and 12.5 rebounds. But has not just been able to really get it going in the pros. Telfair again. You know, he's found himself a nice niche, and he's played well here in Phoenix. His second year in Phoenix, his 9th year in the league. He has played very well off the bench. Prigioni kicks it out. Copeland can't get it, and Dudley got knocked down.
A good perseverance by these Suns. Looked like they were going to get blown out, and now Dudley and Telfair bringing them back.
It's the same script. It's a maddening script if you're the coach. As Gortat falling away, puts it in. It's a 6-point game. Knicks are up 14 just a couple of minutes ago, but this 10-2 run has Phoenix right back in it.
Yeah, the Knicks need to talk it over now. They allowed Dudley to hurt him on a few times, doubling the wrong guy. Dudley draining 3 balls. Telfair draining the 3 ball. This time Gortat, the 15-footer.
Has been cut to 6 with just under 4 minutes remaining in the third. Knicks and Phoenix here on this West Coast trip. Friday night, the trip finishes in Sacramento. Knicks take on the Kings. We'll have it for you on MSG Network. Live coverage underway at 9:30. Tip-off shortly after 10 o'clock. Knicks Kings presented by Chase. Friday night on MSG. Let's go back since we're in Phoenix. 1975, January 14th. Look at him. All-star Walt Clyde Frazier at 30 points. 10 of 17 from the field. 10 of 11 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds. As he won the MVP as the East beat the West 108-102, Clyde. And I'm looking at the roster. Just on your guys. John Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, Bob McAdoo, Pearl. Nice shot. Phil Chenier, Dave Cowens. I mean, that wasn't your first All-Star game, but how intimidating could that be, walking into a locker room with all those names?
It is, Mike. A lot of respect there, and when you first make the All-Star team, it's very intimidating. When I was with Russell and Reed and all of those guys in the locker room, I was quiet as a mouse. I didn't even really talk. I just sat there, bug-eyed, watching them.
Quiet as a mouse, boy. Those were the good old days. Meanwhile, later on, I'm sure, as Prigioni turns out, I thought that ball was kicked. Count it and a foul, and appeared the ball was kicked. They didn't call it. Let's take a look. You know, it was off the foot, but it wasn't intentional. So he's right to let him play on.
And then Novocaine should have locked him up. If you're going to foul a guy, make sure he doesn't make the basket and have a 3-point opportunity. So some folly now by the Knicks allowing the Suns to get back into the game.
Well, by the way, later on in your All-Star career, I'm sure there were some young players that walked in the room and couldn't believe they were in the same locker room as Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, it goes both ways. But I got my critics off my back. I was a 7-time All-Star. And the first time you happen to be there, and then after that, your friends keep saying, come on, man, when are you going to be the MVP?
J.R. Smith in and out. Now, those critics are friends that were giving you a hard time. Was that
Yeah. It's your friends are always saying, yeah, when are you going to be the MVP?
Beasley to the basket. And the Knicks lead has been cut to 3. Here come the Phoenix Suns. They've done it over and over again. Mike Woodson is upset. A 15-4 run by Phoenix. Prigioni trying to find Chandler, and bad decision that time from Prigioni. Dudley for 3. Tie game.
That guy has been a juggernaut tonight. Dudley, invincible, indefensible, and propelling the Suns back.
A season-high 26 points for Dudley. We still have over a quarter to play. Prigioni's shot misses. What a turnaround. Knicks were in control. The Suns were struggling. And Phoenix has done it again. Beasley, not a good shot there. Off Gortat.
Let's take a look at Dudley in his grandeur, his splendor from downtown. This time on the elbows to tie the game.
That's our Grey Goose fast break. Game tied at 72, minute and a half remaining here in the third. Oh, they're trying again to lob to Chandler. Knicks with some poor decisions, and Phoenix takes the lead. Mike Woodson is beside himself as Phoenix has stormed back.
Brown running between a couple of Knicks that time, so the Knicks vulnerable in transition.
And a foul on Telfair. It's only their third team foul.
He fouls number 31, Sebastian Telfair, his first foul. First in the last 2 minutes.
A 20-4 run. Alvin Gentry was upset earlier. His team was struggling. Was furious during a timeout. And Camby's going to come back in. They've done it so many times. Put themselves in big holes.
And doing it with the 3-ball, which is not one of their fortes. Propelling them back now.
Big part of the run came after Jason Kidd went to the bench. He said the run is 20-4. Well, it's been 15-3 since he sat down. Shot clock at 6. Dudley on J.R. Smith. Drives. Oh, Gartott rejects it out of bounds.
Much to the delight of the crowd now. J.R. is going up, but Gartott meeting him there. No foul call. The Knicks have it underneath.
2.8 to shoot. Copeland nails it. Chris Copeland with 12 points. Final minute, third quarter.
And the most dramatic action we've seen all evening coming in the last 5 minutes because of this man.
Beasley will try. Beasley hits a 3. Or is it a 2-pointer? Yep, just a 2. And Beasley's come alive. J.R. Smith this time over Gortat.
Good manipulation by J.R. going around the screens that time in the paint.
Dudley catches, fires, in and out. That one halfway down. Dudley having one of those games that you have just a couple of times a season for him. I mean, he's a good player, but he has exploded tonight, a season high, 26 points in 30 minutes. Smith on the drive, puts it up, won't go. He shot it early. Beasley lost it. Smith picks it up. Smith dribbles, final seconds. Smith puts up a 3, blocked by Beasley. And that will end the third quarter, one that started well for the Knicks. They went up by as many as 14, but Phoenix ended on a 22-8 run. And we're all tied up here in Phoenix. Knicks trying to win second game of a back-to-back, playing without Carmelo Anthony, without Raymond Felton. After 3, all tied at 76. 76. And the Knicks, after this road trip, will head back to New York after Friday night's game in Sacramento. The next game at the Garden, January 1st, they'll take on the Portland Trailblazers. Some tickets still available. Go to nyknicks.com. Some highlight plays in this one. This one, our Foot Locker above the rim replay. An excellent defensive play by Marcin Gortat.
Yeah, meeting JR at the summit. Not an aberration for Gartott. He averages 2 rejections a game. That one a very dramatic one against JR.
His nickname is the Polish Hammer.
Laying down the hammer that time.
His father was an Olympic boxer. Obviously, he's from Poland. His father fought Leon Spinks in the Olympics back in '76, the Olympics in Montreal. Prigioni trying to get away from Telfair. Good help defense from O'Neal. And Camby has it stripped by Beasley. Shannon Brown. And the Knicks down by 2. Pablo Prigioni, who has been so good as a backup, with 4 turnovers here tonight. J.R. Smith looking. Can't get it to go. Camby's tip misses. Beasley the rebound. The momentum has clearly shifted.
Especially in transition. The Knicks not getting back.
Telfair to O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal. And it's a 4-point lead for Phoenix. Their largest lead of the second half and equals their largest lead of the game.
They're getting pulverized in transition. They need to talk it over. Previously Brown and this time O'Neal.
Mike Woodson not happy at all. As a 14-point lead has been blown away. An 18-point turnaround here in the second half. Just over a minute gone by. The Phoenix Suns on the comeback trail. They lead by 4. Dudley as the Knicks trail by 4. Tonight's bucket chart brought to you by your hometown KFC. Dudley has been superb, Clyde.
Yeah, look at the 3 balls. mostly during that run when the Knicks went up by a minute 14. It was Dudley making the 3 balls to bring them back. That's the shortest 3 from the corner, 22 feet away. A little deja vu. And this one on the elbow. And the last 2 coming by Brown and then O'Neal. The Knicks talked it over, and now they have it.
Kidd to Camby. Camby falls down as Kidd makes another beautiful pass.
And how many times have we seen the Knicks after a timeout working a play to perfection? They do it again.
Meanwhile, Telfair's been a big part of this fight. He's really played well. Done a good job without Dragic. O'Neal misses. J.R. Smith tips it to himself. Dragic was hurt on a flagrant foul from J.R. Smith in the first half and has not played here in the second half. He's their leading scorer and assist man, but Telfair getting it done. Kidd drives, layup, no good. Boy, there's a lot of contact there.
Telfair all over him that time.
But Telfair, he's just been aggressive at both ends of the floor. Drives, a lot of contact there as well. Looked like both players were fouled on their drives to the basket. Knicks down by 2, just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Offense a little stagnant right now. Telfair, good defense. Smith knocks down the 2-pointer. That was a terrible possession, yet Smith bails him out. Game is tied again. Smith has 19. Novak trying to chase Dudley. Shannon Brown, that won't go. Kidd with another rebound, his 5th. J.R. Smith sees an opening, drives, back out Camby. Copeland open for 3. Copeland's been hot tonight. 2 3-pointers. Knicks as a team 8 for 19 from downtown.
Novak on Dudley this time. Has to stay up on him. Don't drop off. He's dropping off.
Dudley drives on him, leans in. Novak doesn't go for it, but then gets beat. Dudley with a give and go.
Old school basketball. A give and go working nicely that time.
The season high now 28 for Dudley. Copeland the drive finds Camby. Camby shot attempt won't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. And it's Phoenix ball. Camby playing a lot of minutes tonight. Again, no Rasheed Wallace. No Carmelo Anthony. Tyson Chandler gets off the bench. Beasley on the pull-up. Camby now with 9 rebounds in 13 minutes.
Copeland mismatch.
Kidd fakes a 3, draws the foul. Did he step inside the line? They're going to review it. Either way, foul in the act of shooting.
Almost had his head in there again. Right. Watch how close it comes to his head, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-pointer.
The call on the floor is a 2-pointer.
That's why Cardinals seeing the defense, leaving your feet. Beasley, the culprit, sending Kidd to the line.
The play is under review.
So they'll just take a look to make sure. So 2-point field goal, so he'll get 2 free throws.
And Woodson capitalizing on this time to draw up another play for his team.
And both teams go try and sneak in a timeout.
Yeah.
After review, the call on the floor is confirmed.
Jason Kidd starting at the point guard with 16 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. We've got coming up the Foxwoods Final 5, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com. So Kidd goes to the line this season, 26 of 29. That's good for almost 90%.
And remember, he's 43% from behind the arc. Was once at 50%, but then remember that game at the Garden.
Right.
It was 0 for 4 and 0 for 5.
He was like 1 for 10. But he has been fabulous this season. Hits the free throws to tie the game. Though Kidd has tied his season high.
And the Knicks were flourishing with Kidd in the game and floundering when he left. When he left the game, that's when the Suns went on a rampage to tie it up. So you see how much time is remaining. Kidd will not be able to play all of that time, so they have to prudently put him in and out of this game.
Well, he sat out a lot of the third fight. He's played 22 minutes so far, so if he plays the last 8, that's 30 minutes. That's about the norm for him now. Dudley to O'Neal, blocked by Copeland. Chandler outlet to Kidd. Nice defensive play from Copeland. They go right back to Kidd. Telfair guarding him. Kidd flips up the shot. Won't go. Chandler the rebound. Back to Kidd. Throws it up to Copeland. Copeland on the drive. Puts his head down and misfires badly. He lost his balance. Kidd takes it away. And the lefty layup. Jason Kidd, another big play. And the Knicks go up by 2.
Relentless pursuit by Kidd, not giving up on the play. Previously, that happened to him. Dudley stole the ball from him and dunked. This time, Kidd reciprocates with the steal and the layup.
A season-high 20 points for Jason Kidd. Chandler double teams.
Knicks a little more pep in their D now.
Beasley with 3 on the shot clock. Shoots over J.R. Smith.
Get out.
Beasley can score. He's got 10 and 6 rebounds. This has turned into an entertaining game.
Unfortunately, Mike.
Much to the chagrin of Mike Woodson. His team was up big.
Novak can't get a shot off. They're on his case.
Kidd drives down. Pull-up jumper. Bank shot in and out.
You see, even with Kidd penetrating, Brown was not leaving Novak. He just stayed right up on him.
Novak picks up Telfair on the switch.
Obviously a mismatch.
Beasley.
Another mismatch.
Drives down the lane. Kidd took it. And a jump ball. The veteran with another savvy defensive play.
Kidd's ubiquity astounding the Suns now. Previously the steal and the layup. This time tying up Beasley. And watch right there, O'Neal stripped by Kidd in the left-handed hoop.
Beasley the big height advantage here. Suns have 5 to shoot once they get it. Dudley gets it, fires, and hits another 3. A season-high 31. He's too shy of his career high, and Phoenix up by 3. What a game for Dudley. J.R. Smith. A little careless with the ball. Able to track it down.
Can't dribble now.
He asked the official, could he dribble? Nope. Copeland for 3. Smith comes flying in, and last touch by O'Neal.
Good job by Smith to deny the rebound to O'Neal. Let's take a look at Dudley's timely hooping right here. He knew exactly how much time was on his shot clock and able to beat it right there with the switch.
Play point, 4th quarter in Phoenix. Knicks down by 3 here on the West Coast, which will continue Friday night. We'll have the game for you on MSG Network. Live coverage underway at 9:30. Tip-off shortly after 10. Knicks Kings presented by Chase Friday night on Friday Night Knicks. Jason Kidd starting at the point guard with no Raymond Felton. He has put on a terrific performance.
Yeah, Jason all over the place tonight, creating havoc. Has had the infinite range going with the 3 ball. Also able to get some dribble penetration. Coming up with the steals and, of course, a backdoor play. But this was a shrewd, clever, slick play there, stripping the ball away. So the grand duo Kidd tonight keeping the Knicks in it.
And in addition to those numbers, only 1 turnover in 25 minutes of play. He's had to look for his shot more than normal. Looks have trouble getting it in. Smith against Dudley. Chandler goes to set the screen. Smith sees an opening, finds Chandler for the finish. Beautiful setup from J.R. Smith.
Dudley the culprit that time, allowing Smith to pick and roll.
That's J.R. Smith's 4th assist. Knicks back within 1. Telfair has played the entire second half. And Copeland goes for the fake.
And he was behind the arc.
And Dudley's going to get a chance to get his career high at the free throw line here. They're saying it's 2 free throws.
14, Chris Copeland, his 4th foul.
That one's close. Couldn't see on that
The call on the floor is a
replay.
2-shot foul.
on the court. It's a 2-shot foul.
And how ironic is this, Mike? It's almost 2 years ago exactly that this man scored his career high in Miami on December the 23rd, 2010, and now he has a chance to do it here.
Dudley, he's from San Diego, went to Boston College, played 4 years at Boston College, was the first-round pick of the Charlotte Bobcats, played for them for a year and a half, and then was traded here in that deal that saw Boris Diaw go to Charlotte. This is his 5th year at Phoenix. 1 year he was 4th in the NBA in three-point shooting. He's just a guy, he's gotten a little better every year. He's not a guy that's probably ever going to make an all-star team, but he plays really hard.
Yeah, you wouldn't call him athletic, but a clever player on the court, and tonight we're seeing his shooting prowess.
Oh, it's the 3 free throws. This is the first 30-point game of the season for Phoenix. By the way, that foul on Copeland is 4th.
Still plenty of time for Dudley to do more havoc on these Knicks.
Oh, a career high 34 points for Dudley. Smith looking for an opening, goes at the rim, and Jermaine O'Neal with a foul.
Smith taking a beating now.
Number 20, Jermaine O'Neal, his second foul.
He's had another good
Second Suns
aggressive
team
game. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He's only 8 of 22 from the field. You know what, defensively, Clyde, where he's improved. Remember how often he gambled?
Yeah.
He was always like he fouled 3-point shooters a lot. He's been much more efficient defensively, much more disciplined defensively.
I think we have to give kudos to Woodson, Mike, for working with him. Really, Woodson has really worked diligently to bring out the best in JR.
Woodson will tell you that he's harder on J.R. Smith than any other player, and there's still some times where Woodson wants to pull the hair that used to be in his head out because J.R. Smith does some crazy plays as White comes in for Novak. Mike Woodson going with some defense.
But Woodson figure his good will outweigh his bad when he's dealing with JR. So he remains loyal to him and let him play his game when he's out on the floor.
Well, there were times in Denver that the good did outweigh the bad. That is not the case this year. I mean, he really has played his all-around game. And his mistakes are aggressive mistakes. He plays hard. There's the steal. J.R. Smith with a nice defensive play, and the game is tied. Right on cue, his 4th steal of the game.
In a nick of time, that time, getting into the passing lane.
23 now for Smith.
Watch Telfair. It's getting hot from there.
O'Neal poked away, picked up by Copeland. Was it Smith again?
Yeah, JR had a good hands.
We were blocked out from Mike Woodson. Smith for 3. Chandler throws it back out. You can go in the backcourt. Smith looking for an opening. Finds Kidd. Jason Kidd for 3. Bang! And the Knicks take a 3-point lead with 4:09 remaining. Kidd with a season-high 23 points as the Knicks have scored 7 straight, and J.R. Smith once again a big spark at both ends of the floor.
I mentioned eventually his good will outweigh the bad. So this time the good play coming up. And then this time finding Kidd after Chandler tipped the ball out to give the Knicks their second opportunity.
By 3 with 4:09 remaining here in the 4th quarter. You're watching the Foxwoods Final 5, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com. Jason Kidd starting at the 2-guard, part of our Hyundai game summary. He's got a season high in points tonight with 23 points plus the rebounds, the assists. The Knicks bench, which is shorthanded tonight with no Carmelo Anthony, no Raymond Felton. And J.R. Smith having a terrific all-around game. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. Has helped spark the Knicks back in front. Here's Dudley. Dudley's had the best game of his pro career scoring-wise. There's P.J. Tucker. Tucker against Chandler. Flips it up. Shot won't go. Rebound Gortat. But Kidd comes down with it.
Good job by Copeland denying Gortat the rebound. All the Knicks need is movement now. Move the ball. Make these guys play defense, which they don't want to do.
Kidd finds Copeland. Copeland for three. It's good. Copeland once again. He's got 15. And the Knicks on a 10-0 run.
Good court vision by Kidd to look across the court and find Copeland.
5. They're calling that a 2, so the lead is 5. Brown wide open. Not even close, and Chandler the rebound. So Copeland shot just a 2-pointer.
Yeah, move the ball, guys. They can get shots.
Jason Kidd. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining. Tucker all over Smith. Smith lost it to Copeland. Shot clock winding down. Copeland's going to have to shoot it. J.R. Smith tips it. But Shannon Brown comes up with it. 95-90.
Brown did the tighten up previously. He was uncontested from behind the arc. Came up short.
Brown drives on Chandler. Lost it. Got it back again. Dudley from the corner. Kidd all over him. And a foul on Jason Kidd. Knicks not in the penalty. It's only their second team foul. And first on Kidd.
Second Knicks team foul. Suns ball 14 on the shot clock.
Suns looking for a hot hand now.
Well, the difference with the Knicks with Kidd on the floor and Kidd on the bench tonight is unbelievable. They blew the 14-point lead when he went to the bench, and they've come back from a deficit as soon as he came back. Dudley again, not that time. And a foul is going to be called.
Chandler.
On Chandler.
Gortat working diligently to draw the foul against Chandler.
The foul's number 6, Tyson Chandler.
So that's the 18 points, 12 rebounds. Chandler did all of the scoring early, or most of it. And James White called for a foul. Gary Zielinski tells him to stop, meaning don't complain. Now the Knicks one away from the penalty.
Suns ball 19 on the shot clock.
Dudley, Gortat, Shannon Brown, P.J. Tucker, and Sebastian Telfair. Again, Telfair's played the entire second half with Dragic out with a hip injury.
They want Dudley over here on the strong side. Good denial by White.
Kidd helping out. Chandler going to double team. Tucker has it. Shot clock down to 7. Sebastian Telfair hits a 3. Big bucket from the Brooklyn native. Telfair with 11 points. Lead is back to 2 as we're under 2 minutes remaining. Kidd looking for an opening. Couldn't get through it, and a foul on Gortat. It's only the third team foul against the Suns and third on Gortat.
Knicks continue to play hard but not smart, folks. Tucker not a good perimeter shooter, so you double him and you leave Telfair open.
Telfair with the steal, but then he stepped out of bounds. J.R. Smith nearly with a costly turnover there. Knicks have 11 turnovers for the game. 2 here in the fourth quarter. That hurt them yesterday against the Lakers. They had 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter yesterday, which is very unusual for the Knicks. They're still number 1 in that department in the league.
You don't like to see this. You want them to move the ball. They were getting whatever they wanted on the offense by moving it.
Kidd for 3. In and out. Chandler tips it out, but it goes right to Telfair. Telfair drives inside, stripped. J.R. Smith dives on it. Ball goes out of bounds, and they say it's Phoenix ball. With 18 to shoot. Good hustle back transition from Smith and James White.
But Telfair now, the New York native, all over the floor, and J.R., the New Jersey native, right there on the sideline. And the Suns will have it there.
Both teams diving on the floor, extending themselves here in what has been a hard-fought second half. Knicks holding on to a 2-point lead with 1:28 remaining. We've got the Tri-State Board Knicks postgame coming up. Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak.
Woodson so adept at drawing up plays. We often pay homage to how well they work after a timeout. But now, obviously, the Knicks do not have the ball. They are on the defense, but he's drawing up a play for the next possession, or perhaps a defensive possession here against the Suns.
Well, there's the numbers for J.R. Smith. Again, they've needed his offense without Carmelo Anthony and Raymond Felton. Smith, who in the first half committed a flagrant foul on a dangerous play against Goran Dragic. Dragic returned to shoot the free throws, but has not played the second half. But that's opened the door for Sebastian Telfair, who's played the whole second half, and he's played well.
And the Knicks now, no more fouls to give. So they've got to play defense with their feet, not their hands and their heads now. Don't double a guy who can't hurt you and leave one open that can.
Both teams you see with multiple timeouts.
Tucker is the guy they should try to leave open if they have to.
Brown comes off the screen. Smith on him. Brown shoots, ties the game. Shannon Brown with a big bucket.
So Woodson wants to talk it over with his team as the Suns working to play nicely that time on the execution. Brown coming on the curl play with the 15-footer.
A 20-second timeout with 1:11 remaining. Both teams making big plays here in the fourth.
Yeah, look at JR. He's there, but a belated attempt to deny Brown. Good composure by Brown to can the jumper.
The Phoenix Suns, they've played a lot of close games. They've lost 5 games by 4 points or less. They've had 2 other games that went to overtime that were decided by more than 5 points. So they've just, I think, is second most in the NBA in close games. They've won 4 of them as well.
Yeah, I look for something like a pick and roll here with Kidd, perhaps. Coming off with looking for Chandler with the pick and roll. Or maybe JR is going to inbound the ball, but a lot of times they'll try to get the ball back to that guy.
Novak comes in. James White sits down.
Whatever they do, it should not be quick, Mike. I thought in the LA game it was a little quick trying to go to tie the game. They have more than enough time to work or play here and get a good shot.
Here's where Jason Kidd usually is at his best, the poise down the stretch of a close game, trying to make the right decisions. Kidd to Smith, shot clock at 6. Telfair right on top of J.R. Smith. Smith on the drive, pull-up shot is up. No good. Not a great shot there at all. They had to shoot it with the shot clock winding down, but it was not the possession I'm sure Mike Woodson wanted, and now Phoenix will call a timeout.
And Telfair, not a guy is feared for his defensive prowess, but doing an excellent job that time on JR.
46.3 seconds remaining. Knicks and Suns tied at 95. Phoenix ball when we come back. 95-95. Knicks and Suns all even. 46.3 remaining. Knicks playing without Carmelo Anthony and Raymond Felton. They were up by 14 early in the third. Blew that lead. Phoenix came back. And the Suns have been up by as many as 4 here in the fourth quarter. They've exchanged leads here in this fourth period. There you see neither team with a foul to give. Knicks still have 2 timeouts left. Suns 1. But Phoenix has the basketball as they send out Shannon Brown, Jared Dudley, P.J. Tucker, Marcin Gortat, and Sebastian Telfair from Brooklyn, who has played the entire second half and has been a spark playing in place of the injured Goran Dragic.
Previously, they ran the curl play with Brown on the side of Tucker. He was able to can the 15-foot jumper.
Knicks have Copeland and James White in there.
Here comes Dudley now. Gartart with the screen.
Shot blocked, but a foul called on White. And Dudley will shoot. White obviously doesn't feel like he fouled. Mike Woodson wants to look. No, it looked like he hit him on the wrist. Oh, there's no question. At least on that replay.
Knicks must regain their composure. Plenty of time remaining. Dudley might help him out as well.
Let's see now.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, he looked like. How do you protest so much when it looked there and he clearly got it? 2 3-point lead for Phoenix. Oh, away Tucker all over Kidd. Kidd and Tucker. What is Tucker doing with Jason Kidd trying to push him after the whistle?
The Kidd had to burn a timeout there, and they didn't want to. Kind of coughed it up. Good job by Tucker smothering him. Nowhere for Kidd to go. Compelled to call a timeout. Tucker's strong dude hounding him. And right there, nowhere for Jason to go, so the timeout.
It is the timeout. Tucker knocked the ball out of his hands afterwards. Kidd had something to say. J.R. Smith getting in the middle. So the Knicks will inbound with 14 to shoot, still trailing by 2.
Last possession, they wanted a pick and roll. JR got it, but the Knicks were not successful. Good D by Telfair against JR, even though it was a mismatch.
Meanwhile, the Knicks without Carmelo Anthony, he's usually the go-to guy. Now, when Anthony has not been on the court, when he's either missed a game or got injured, for example, in Charlotte, the guy the Knicks usually go to in this situation is J.R. Smith. Of course, he got the game winner against the Bobcats. That was the game that Anthony lacerated the finger. And the Knicks able to win on Smith's shot as the 24-second clock expired.
And that's the last time the Knicks has done that in a long time. But the only thing with JR, Mike, they don't feel compelled to double him. They just guard him one-on-one, whereas with Melo, you got a double, and then the Knicks have a chance to move the ball around, especially with Novocaine out there. So let's see if JR can get a double team and reverse the ball to an open shooter.
Suns do not have a foul to give. Novak back in the game. Let's see who they put on Smith. Now again, Smith will inbound the ball. With Novak, Chandler, Kidd, and Copeland. Tucker is on Smith. Telfair is now on Kidd. Chandler sets the screen. Kidd looking. Want to run the pick and roll. Novak back to Kidd. Telfair is on Chandler. Knicks want to try and get the ball.
See, but there's no double teaming. Every man is just guarding one-on-one.
Smith drills the jumper. Oh, what a tough shot. Tucker was draped all over him. And J.R. Smith nailed it to tie the game with 10.6 remaining.
The same shot he took previous against Telfair, we were saying not a good shot. Obviously, this was not a good shot, but J.R. a good bad shot shooter at times. Right there just inside of the 20-foot mark as he drains it.
That is great defense from Tucker. It's physical defense. Well, look at him. Turn him there, almost turn him a second time. And Smith, who has to fall away. Smith is a good bad shot shooter.
And that time determination by JR as he would not be denied. Now Nick has to do it with defense. Can they stop Telfair? Can they stop Brown? Can they stop Dudley, who has had a career game tonight?
25 points for J.R. Smith. Tonight they've needed to score. Again, now the Knicks don't have a foul to give. Dudley will inbounds. Often you see on plays like this, the guy who throws it in gets it back right away.
But the most important thing about this, you got to get the ball in bounds, Mike. We've seen 5-second violations recently against teams that could not get the ball in.
Telfair comes up and gets it. 7 seconds. Oh! Ball deflected by Kidd. Telfair gonna have to hoist it up. He stepped out of bounds. There's a second left. And the Knicks will be able to advance it to the front court.
When he tried to pass it, Gortat was open. Some Knick deflected it.
Now, will they put time back on the clock? It doesn't appear that they're discussing it.
Watch, Gortat comes open, but the ball was deflected. Telfair right there steps on the sideline.
Well, they should put more time on. Look how much the time after the whistle blew. There should be more time on the clock. Meanwhile, Jason Kidd, another smart defensive play with the deflection. But he stepped out of bounds with about 1.5. Now, obviously, you know, in terms of the whistle blows, the scorekeeper stops the clock. He's out of bounds there at 1.6. I'm surprised the Knicks have not asked to put time back on the clock.
Why aren't the officials reviewing this to see exactly how much time?
I don't know if that's a reviewable matter on time on that. It was very close. Again, he steps out of bounds. The official blows the whistle. It all takes tenths of a second for it to happen.
Obviously, the Knicks here, the only thing they could do is a tip in, folks. They do not have time to catch the ball.
No, they do, Clyde. With 1 second, you can catch
but
and
you
shoot.
can't turn around. You got to be facing the basket to do it. You can't have your back to the basket to catch it and try to shoot.
Smith catches, shoots, puts it up, puts it in at the buzzer. J.R. Smith with another game winner.
Well, we got to review it. I don't. Like I'm saying, it's hard to catch it like that and turn around and shoot.
Well, you catch Clyde with 3/10 of a second to go. You can catch and shoot. With a full second, you can catch and turn and shoot.
Let's see. Let's check it out.
The officials are going to look
Looks like a victory.
On the court, they signal yes, it counts. And from our naked eye, it appeared that he did put it in. But the officials have to take a look.
See if we can see the blackboard.
Oh, he clearly got it off in time. That's not
yeah.
even close. See, the catch and shoot, you can turn with a full second to go. And J.R. Smith able to connect. They're going to say yes. Smith with 27 points. Mark Davis, the crew chief, checking right now. What a performance from J.R. Smith. Game is over. Knicks win it. It is made official as J.R. Smith with his second game winner as time expires this season. He's with Tina.
Mike, thank you. All right, JR, 1 second on the clock. Describe what you guys had planned there for Jason to get to that ball.
It was designed up for me to get to that corner, and I mean, we ran it to perfection. I knew they were going to try to deny me the ball, try to push me out as far as we could, and fortunately, J. Kidd made a great bounce pass, and I just caught it in motion.
How did you said you caught it in motion, how did you have your body positioned to get the shot off on time?
I mean, just try to get my shoulder squared to the basket. You know, my feet wasn't really my focus. You know, just get my shoulder squared to the basket and let it fly.
Now, you had the game winner against Charlotte. You said that was your first game winner ever. 2 in a month.
Hey, I'll take it. You know, Merry Christmas, Ma.
And, JR, let's go back to that play that got you guys tied. P.J. Tucker's all over you. How do you get that shot off?
Well, I mean, it was a very tough shot. He wasn't letting me get to my left hand. They knew I like to get to my step back. And fortunately, I just made a turnaround. You know, I watched so many Jordan tapes. It finally worked for me.
All right, JR, sounds good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike, back to you.
And Tina, great point. Not just the fact that he hit the game winner, but it was the one that tied the game that may have been in some ways a more difficult shot. Was Tucker was on him. That led to that play. And let's not forget Jason Kidd with this deflection on the Phoenix possession. The Suns had a chance to win the game in the final seconds, but Kidd had a deflection and a steal. And the Knicks with an invigorating come-from-behind win here in Phoenix without their top 2 scorers. Much more to come as the Knicks beat the Suns.